Hey guys, welcome back to Refining with Jessie, the life coach. So today I'm going to be sharing some spiritual lessons that once you grasp the concept behind it, will not only change you, but change your life. So in life, there's always going to be pain. There's always going to be suffering. There's always going to be mishaps. There's always going to be something that is going to shake your world. That is inevitable, is part of life's journey. But how long you stay in that suffering and hang on to that pain, that is a choice. So a lot of people don't understand what that means, and what that means is after something has happened to you, how long you stay in that feeling is completely and utterly up to you. A lot of the times things happen to us, we fall victims to people's abuse, manipulation, control issues, and it goes on and on and on. So, nobody's exempt from that. I think everybody has felt one of those pains within their life. But how you react to it, how you pick yourself back up is so important. You don't want to stay in those feelings. You don't want to stay trapped there. You don't want to stay stuck in victim mentality. Yes, someone put you in a position that you didn't want to be in, or you probably didn't deserve, but it has happened. So you have to learn how to accept it and then pick up the pieces slowly and surely so you don't stay suffering in that pain. That is always a choice. And once you learn that, you're able to really gain your strength and say, you know what? I'm not going to stay stuck in this. Yes, this has happened to me. Yes, it's unfortunate. Yes, I suffered. Yes, it was painful, but now it is over, and I'm not going to continue to put myself in this position and relive this pain over and over and over. I deserve better. I deserve more, and I'm going to go out there and go achieve it. Running from pain only brings in more pain. A lot of the times people are wounded within themselves. They're dealing with issues within themselves and they try to run from themselves. And the thing is that you can never run from yourself. You have to face yourself sooner or later. And when you run from yourself and run from your own internal issues, your own internal wounding, whatever is unhealed within you, whatever wounding you have, whatever childhood issues you might have, painful experiences from the past relationships, past dynamics, whatever wounding you have within that you try to run from yourself is going to resurface and it's going to manifest. And I'll give you an example. I recently read a post by a woman who was in an abusive relationship. She was in a physical abusive relationship. She wound up getting out of that relationship, which was great. That's amazing that everybody has the strength to do that. But after she got out of that relationship, she took some time for herself, took time to, build herself up, build her finances up, and started, living independently. But soon after that, she wound up meeting another man who she got involved with, and he was also abusive. So it started manifesting again, and she not only allowed it, but stood in the relationship. So in this scenario, there was two separate individuals. One was physically abusive and one was emotionally and verbally abusive. But the common denominator in this scenario was the woman. So while you can't control another's behavior, you allow it, you tolerate it. So why did that happen to her again? Why? Because there's something unhealed within herself. She doesn't have enough self-love. And so you have to ask the question, if she's the common denominator, why is she attracting the same people over and over? Is there something unhealed within herself? Is she running from herself? Has she faced her own wounding? Has she faced why she attracts these type of individuals? Has she faced why she doesn't have enough self-love for herself to walk away from these dynamics? The thing is with abusive dynamics is they take a while to manifest. Someone does not just come into your life and just starts, automatically hitting you or automatically insulting you or automatically belittling you. No, they get real comfortable with testing you, seeing how you're going to react to things, seeing how you allow it, seeing how they could cross your boundaries, and slowly and surely it progresses. So this woman, there's something clearly not healed within herself, and because she hasn't healed herself, possibly she needed counseling, time to be with herself longer, time to reflect, time to educate herself on abusive dynamics, emotional abuse, learn the signs, learn the behaviors. She obviously did not do that, and because of that, she's attracting the same dynamic over and over. Whenever you run from yourself, meaning you're not spending time healing whatever wounds you have, clearly dealing with the issues, feeling your feelings, observing why you do certain things, observing your patterns, your behaviors, how did you get into certain circumstances, and then educating yourself about it, you are clearly running from yourself. So once you start realizing that you can never run from yourself and you are the common denominator of scenarios, circumstances, and situations that keep playing out, and there's something within you that you need to heal and you're not taking the time to do it, situations will keep manifesting itself over and over and over because you cannot run from yourself. Once you realize that and you start taking time to heal yourself and deal with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say, why is this happening? Things will always remain the same. So you gotta always remember that you can never run from yourself. Take the time to really do the work. Work on yourself, work on what you need to change within yourself, and your journey and your outcomes will start to change. Releasing expectations is gonna bring you exactly what you need. A lot of the times when people are so trapped in an expectation, in an outcome that they believe that they deserve or they desire and hope. So when you release yourself from that, you start bringing in exactly what you need. Sometimes it's not exactly what you want, but it is exactly what you need. So many people are so unhappy and they get unhappy with their life because they are attached to a specific expectation. Like, I'm supposed to be married by this age. I'm supposed to have a child by this age. I'm supposed to have a child, period. I'm supposed to have this job. I'm supposed to have this career by this age. The person I'm with, they're supposed to behave in this manner. When you start releasing yourself from expectations, allowing things to flow natural and release that control, exactly what you need will flow right in and bring you the happiness that you seek. When you are in your darkest moments of life, those are going to be the moments that you need to start celebrating. And now this one is hard because when you are in it, it's hard to even see the light. Those are the moments that you are going to find your strength. Those are the moments that you're going to find out who you truly are. Those are the moments that you level up and start fighting for what you deserve. You start fighting for your value. You start fighting for your life in general. So a lot of people have a hard time really embracing dark moments in their life. But once you start realizing that these moments did not come to harm you, but they came to strengthen you, they came to really bring you in what you deserve, clear out, all the murkiness, all the people that don't belong in your life, all the attachments that need to be released, all the things that do not serve you, and you start seeing the good in it, you start realizing, wow, yeah, this moment, while it was super uncomfortable, it was super painful, it was super hurtful, after that moment, I wasn't the same person. But I was not the same person, and I became the better version that I once was. So when those dark moments come in and you're probably trying to seek, the clarity and what was the purpose, well, that was the purpose. And you know what? Darkest moments should be celebrated. So don't think back on hardships as if, they are a negative thing or something you need to hide. Those hardships are battle wounds that are making you a badass spiritual person. Rejection is God's protection. Whatever you have been blocked from, whatever has, rejected you, whatever has released itself from your world is for your own good. It is for your own good. It is for your own protection. A lot of the times we can't see what's not the best for us. And if it's going to do too much damage, it is literally stricken and lifted off of our shoulders like a burden that has been lifted. And at times we don't see that it is a burden. We don't see that it's not the best path for us. We don't see it's not, the best person for us. We don't see that it's not the best circumstance for us. You might have wanted a job that you're like, I really, really wanted. And then you realize that, you go for the interview and you're not chosen. And you're like, oh man, that was my dream job. And not realizing that, you have a better opportunity coming down later down the line. There was probably something about that position that you didn't see. Maybe that boss, was narcissistic. Maybe the people, that worked in the company, they could have been toxic. So there is always a reason why you are rejected from something and always blocked from something. So believe it, have faith that there is a reason why it's not working out in your favor, and that something better is going to come along, because it usually does. How you deal with conflict is a reflection of what needs to be healed within yourself. And I'll give you an example. So if you're a person who likes to deflect and ghost and run away from scenarios and situations without properly handling them, you might have narcissistic tendencies. If you are a person that deals with conflict by insulting, escalating scenarios, yelling at an individual, being dismissive, invalidating their emotions or their feelings, not taking accountability for your actions, then you might have emotional abusive tendencies within yourself. If you deal with conflict by chasing a person or people pleasing, you might have abandonment issues within self. If you deal with conflict by being completely detached, not showing much emotion, being completely defensive, having a guard up, you might have a form of emotional unavailability traits within yourself. So how you deal with conflict is going to stem a lot from what needs to be healed within yourself. And once you start realizing that, once you start realizing, wow, and recognizing, there's things within me that I need to heal, there's things within me that I need to change, you are going to level up spiritually, because you're going to start healing yourself, recognizing the patterns and behaviors that you have within self, and learning how to communicate better, learning how to heal yourself, and learning how to foster healthy relationships. And once that happens and you learn how to communicate better as an individual and you heal yourself, everything around you is going to change, or relationships are going to change, and it's going to change your life. Learning how to forgive someone who has done you wrong is allowing yourself to be free from the emotional baggage and burden someone else has unfairly put upon you. So that is so important. Once you learn how to forgive someone, and I have a whole video on forgiving, what it means, the steps. So if you're having trouble with forgiving anything in your life, or forgiving a circumstance, or person, you want to check out that video. But basically, forgiving is done for you. It's not done for the other person. And a lot of people get that confused. They think that if they hold on to resentment and anger, that they're punishing the other person, so they feel justified. But the truth of the matter is, the only person that you are punishing and keeping stuck is going to be yourself. You don't forgive for the other person. You forgive for yourself. Forgiving is all about releasing yourself from those emotions, from that pain, from that resentment, from that anger. Once you get past that and you can say, okay, it is what it is. It was not a great situation, but there was something to be learned about it. There was something to be learned about the situation. There was something to be learned about me. There was something to, be learned about this other person, or the people that I attract, or the circumstance that I was in. There's always a lesson within, an issue or a problem that has caused you pain. So you have to look for the purpose. There's always purpose in pain, but you have to get to that mindset to get there. So when you start, releasing that anger and start thinking from that mindset, you're able to forgive. You're able to forgive the situation and just release it. And that's what forgiving is about. Forgiving is all about releasing yourself from the self-imprisonment you're putting yourself in. That's what it's all about. And when you learn how to do that for yourself, you just open a whole new world for yourself. It's like that pain that you once felt, it just gets released. It's just like a burden that's just lifted, and it's like, I'm free. Because that's what it feels like. You are free. You are free from the pain. After something has happened to you, remember, it's up to you. It's your choice on how long you stay stuck there. And that, those two lessons, they go hand in hand, because when you don't forgive, you're keeping yourself trapped. You're keeping yourself stuck in that pain, suffering, and reliving that situation or that moment or that painful scenario over and over and over again. That painful scenario, when you think about it and it just, evokes all this anger and emotions within you. If that is happening to you, it's because you have not forgave a certain person or a certain scenario or situation. So learning how to forgive is going to release you from a lot of burdens, victim mentality, and open up a whole new world and new doors for you. Because once you start living out of fear and start living out of pain and step into love. And when we say, living out of love, it doesn't mean that you're going around letting people just, walk all over you. No, that's not what forgiving is about at all. Forgiving is about saying, I see the situation, I see it clearly, And you know what? I'm going to release myself from it. This was not my burden to begin with. This person has, come over here, stirred up my life, or the circumstance has come in and stirred up my life. And it created all this upheaval and havoc. And it was unfortunate, but I'm free from that now. And I'm ready to move on and manifest beautiful, wonderful things in my life the way I know I deserve and the way I know it should be. What you tolerate is what's going to persist. So that's a super important one. A lot of people are in situations and they want to know, why is this happening to me? How did I get here? Why did this manifest? Well, it's something that you allowed. It is something that you tolerated. You always teach people how to treat you, and you always teach people what is going to be allowed with you. So if there is something in your life that keeps persisting and it's going on and on and on and on, you got to start looking at, what are you tolerating? What are you allowing? What are you saying it's okay? So if you want to grow as a person and grow as a spiritual being, you have to be able to speak up and stop allowing certain circumstances, people, things to come into your life and stir up your world. So once you stop allowing a certain behavior, pattern, circumstance to create, manifest, and give life to, give energy into, it will stop. It will cease. So that is a big life lesson. It's a big spiritual lesson. So if you don't want something within your life, you want to stop creating it, you want to stop manifesting it, you want to start thinking, if you have a mindset that you're like stuck to, you can't allow it to keep growing. You have to nip it in the bud. What you tolerate is going to be what persists. So if you don't want something persisting in your life, or you don't like something that's going on in your life, you have to take action and put an end to it. Just nip it in the bud and say no more. Once you start doing that, that is going to change your world. It's going to change you as a person, because you are going to find your voice. You are going to find your grounding. You're going to find your strength. And you're going to be able to, once you say no the first time, you'll be able to do it to the next person and the next person and the next scenario and the next circumstance. And you'll be able to start fighting and speaking up for what you want and what you're willing to tolerate in your life. So remember, everything starts with you. Those are my top spiritual lessons that have changed my life. And I'm sure if you adapt it into your life and really give it thought and reflect on it, it can have positive impact for you as well. Spiritual lessons are just another way of saying your soul is evolving. You are growing as a person. You're growing as a human being. You're able to reflect and really look at things from a bigger point of view. You are looking at things from a bigger picture. You are looking at things from a helicopter view. That's all that spiritual lessons are. They're here to help you grow. They're here to help you become the best version of you that you were meant to be. And everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be the best version and make the best time of life while they have it, right? So that's how you have to think of spiritual lessons. They are here to help you grow. They are here to help you become the best version that you were meant to be. And I know everyone who watches me, that's what they want to be. They want to create and manifest the best version of themselves. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? You want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. There's not one person on this earth that doesn't want to be happy. But in order for you to be happy, you have to gain those lessons. You have to go through those hardships and really look at them and analyze them and say, okay, I see the lesson. Find the lesson. There's a lesson and purpose in everything you go through, even those really painful moments. So guys, that is all I have for you. Love and light, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.